Welcome back to the channel. Today is part 2 of our Gameverse 2-pack from Hasbro. Last week we broke down the Punisher, but today we're finally putting the Master Spy himself under the microscope, Nick Fury. Is he worth the addition to your shelf? Let's find out. Before we crack into this figure Friday, do me a massive favor and Hulk smash that subscribe button so you never miss out on a weekly figure breakdown and stop motion animation shorts. Looking back at the packaging one last time, this set really delivers out that classic gritty comic aesthetic. With Frank Castle out of the way, let's see how Nick Fury handles his own. First impressions out of the box, this is that classic definitive comic book Nick Fury and not the MCU Nick Fury. Overall, I really like the color theme here with the tan, browns, and yellows and the green giving an earthy clash. The detail on the head sculpt is really good. And he comes with a few accessories, so let's break down into the accessories. For accessories, he also has an M16, a Luger-style pistol, a briefcase filled with stacks of money, and various alternate hands. Now, that's not to say you can't use any of the accessories from the Punisher side of this 2-pack. That explosion effect works really well here. You could use the baseball bat or the hand grenade. You know, these are interchangeable, although I did notice that the Punisher's effects are gray and Nick Fury's are more black. There is some color difference there. Moving into articulation, this figure handles beautifully, the joints are smooth, and the shoulder harness doesn't restrict him in any way. I played around with the shoulders and the butterflies, and I did not have any issue with the harness blocking anything. The harness can come off, I noticed that when I was playing around with it. Unlike the loose thigh swivel from Night Punisher last week, the quality control on Fury is rock solid. I didn't have any paint issues or loose joints. Everything is tight, responsive, and ready for posing. I do have the same gripe that I had last week with this figure, because it seems to be off the same body mold, is the legs I find do not swing out properly when doing forward articulation and backward articulation. In some of those deeper poses or even running poses, I just found it to be a little bit troublesome to get him to stand on his own. Of course, I can do a far out comic style running poses. For scaling, here's how the Director of S.H.I.E.L.D. stands next to the rest of the display. We have him alongside McFarlane Avatar, NECA Horror Series, Star Wars Black Series, and G.I. Joe Classified. He fits in perfectly with the rest of the line, and more importantly, he looks incredible standing side by side with another character or on his own. Because articulation and scaling are so on point, I had a blast hitting some classic spy poses, and since we had that awesome cash briefcase accessory, you already know I had to take it one step further in this week's animation. Final thoughts, the figure is an absolute home run. The paint detail and the overall sculpt is incredible. I like that classic Nick Fury comic style. Again, like I mentioned last week, it's nice to see comic accurate characters and not just the MCU portrayal. If you already bought the pack for the Punisher, this Nick Fury completely sweetens the deal. It is a definite win for any classic Marvel fan. Once again, thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and tune in next Friday for our new Figure Friday showcase where we'll be looking at Marvel Legends Secret Wars Daredevil.